Hello everyone, Suntan2, welcome to another Fabric follow-up overview, this time on Fabric Autoswitch. We're going to be looking at the configs that were newly added, and any other types of things in between. Updates since the last time I covered it. So, we now have configs. You have the ability to look at or change the tool order priority. So, you've got shears and swords, then fortune picks, silk touch picks, a regular pickaxe, silk touched axes, fortune axes, a regular axe, silk touched versions of shovels, regular shovels that aren't enchanted, Bane of Anthropods, smite, sharpness, tridents, and impaling tridents. You've got the ability for it to toggle a message, or display a toggle message. So if we go to controls, I'm trying to remember, there is possibly a toggle, here we go. So with the R key or the G key, which I'll swap these out for comma and full stop. So auto switching can be turned on and off, and Mo when fighting can also be enabled, disabled, so you can turn that message off if you want. Switching for blocks, whether or not it will or not. So for example, if I actually happen to have the appropriate tools here, whether or not it will switch to it or not, or switch back, I assume. So I'm assuming this is more so for if it actually switches to it, not for if it does its action and then switches back to what you were previously using. So it would actually be, okay, I'm using the shovel, and it would actually switch to it. You've got toggling the message over the hotbar, so you can change this if you wish, which will change it. And it should technically display in chat rather than give you a hotbar. So actually change that as well. Yeah, so it won't actually switch to the appropriate tool. By doing that, which I'll keep it on for. You can switch back to blocks if you happen to be using them. So say you were using your shovel, you were clearing out a certain area and then placing a bunch of blocks down, so just planks or something for a building, and you wanted to go, okay, get rid of these, swap back and continue building. You've got the ability to switch in multiplayer, I assume, which I can't really demonstrate because I'm not in a multiplayer session. You've got switching for mobs, so if we happen to have it where a pig appears or something else, so let's get a pig there and possibly a zombie, you can swap to the appropriate weapon. And if I do the same with the pig, I'm assuming it will interact accordingly to the correct sword, or a sword possibly. So we'll just go between either of these. And you can see it's swapped to one that's a lot better, or any one that it can find. So if I actually happen to put all these in here, the one that has sharpness on it will always be better, even better than the iron sword, not just because it's a diamond sword, but also because of sharpness. So actually get an emerald sword, and we'll get pig, because I'm pretty sure the emerald sword is better than the diamond one. Or it just won't recognize it. Yeah. So modded ones doesn't recognize too well, but if we happen to get a regular diamond one over a sharpness one, and put them on different sides of the hotbar, it'll go in order of that. So if I happen to put this probably a lot closer, it probably still went to the regular rather than that, because it'll go from this side onwards, of which one's probably more important, is my guess. Next we have it switching back from mobs, so I'm assuming if you probably have a spawn egg or some other type of thing you're interacting with, so for example if you're interacting with a chicken, because I obviously have some seeds here, and I happen to defeat a zombie for example, I can attack the zombie and then go back to the mob, even though it's not really going to focus on the seeds all that much. And my guess is it would swap to a spawn egg of sorts as the last thing I was doing. So if I happen to get the chicken, for example, it'll swap back to the spawn egg. That's my guess. Next we have the switching creative mode. So obviously that's disabled, but if you wanted to have auto switch available in creative mode rather than only just survival, you can do that. And finally we have control while mowing when fighting. So obviously this will be more so, I assume, when using the sweeping enchantment, or it's just you controlling your attacking with either a sword or an axe or something. That would be my guess, to obviously mow down mobs. So if we put that to false and just have anything appearing, so let's actually get health potion for now. And just get some armor, just in case. I already have a bed there. And we'll get a bunch of different zombies. And we'll go normal, and set the time accordingly, and get rid of the weather. I'm assuming it'll try and keep up with them. If I happen to re-enable it, unless I'm missing something, it might be. I'm assuming it's supposed to control when you have more so groups of them, or possibly in that what you're using, so like a bow or a sword, but yeah, not too sure on that. So we're going to swap to a trident, and doesn't seem to be focusing on the difference in enchantment there. Possibly is now, but I'm not sure. Either way, clear them out. Other than that though, that's pretty much it, as you've got a bunch of different configs you can tweak now. There's a bunch of other things to consider, especially certain other considerations of what's stronger than the other, enchantment considerations, entity targeting, a bunch of the stuff I'm not going to cover too much. I'll just show a bit of the configs. Mowing control when trying to attack a mob in a block without a collision. Ah, that's what I'm missing. So in terms of things like grass or others, maybe like slabs, mostly things like grass that appear there. So there we go. So when you're interacting with things like grass, you can consider it for that. So that is true. If I happen to have a sword, it's probably because I've got the other mod installed, but either way. That should be pretty much it though. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye. That should be everything.